Many times when people ask for help, I find it very interesting that they don't realize something that I think may help. So I'm going to point it out just for a second. And that's this. Many times when people ask for help, they go into their story, what led them to this point? How did I get here? Okay. And often, what do they do except tell you everything that has already happened to them? Right? So they can go through their history. In my childhood, or my husband, or whatever it was, it all passed. It's already passed. But they're reliving these memories as if they're happening now. So a lot of times what they don't realize is the pain is being caused because their body no longer lives there, but their mind does. And of course that's painful. Of course that's painful. You need to move on. And it's easier said than done, I know. But that's because people don't realize the power of the neuroplasticity of their brain. So they don't realize that the stories that they're telling themselves are the cause of their suffering. It's time to tell yourselves a new story. And until you realize that, like for example, I see people that say, I think I'm destined to be in the world alone. I truly believe that. They say that, but they're saying this because they're lonely. And they're lonely because they don't realize that they fostered this feeling by their belief and they're living it. They've created it. In fact, they've already proven to themselves that they live what they believe. It's already happened. And so sometimes when we miscreate, we need to understand that it is supposed to be used as a point of reference so that we can recreate it from within and tell ourselves a new story. That's really what it's supposed to be. That's what masters do. They never let the outside illusion bother them. They use it as a point of reference to move on. They recreate it from within and then they change the reality. See, they've already proven it to themselves, but they've done so unconsciously, so they don't realize that everything they believe and tell themselves they need to examine. That's the only way out. It's in. Literally. And I guess I just wanted to say that a lot of the times when we perceive ourselves to be stuck, it's because we're telling ourselves that we are. When we perceive ourselves not to have, it's because we're telling ourselves that we don't have. It's just like being happy. See, conditions do not cause your happiness. Being happy causes the more conditions of happiness. You must foster the feeling within in order to have everything out. And people have been living by default backwards because that's the way we were submerged into the world, into our world of sensory input. And so we believe that the conditions are what we are judging. And really what we should be doing is through a point of non-detachment, observe it, and use what we are given. Because we are the kingdom, use what we are given and the powers we have to change what we're seeing. These feelings, these things, they're all changed from within. And so a lot of the times when people ask me for help, really what they're doing is they're rehashing their memories. And that's all that they're doing. And all that I help them do is catch up to the present moment because I say, hey, you need to tell yourself another story. You've been telling this story for so long you don't even realize that you wear your pain like a badge of honor. It's time to let it go. Yes, you can be proud of what you've overcome. But you also descended in it to do that. So now move on and create a new story. Our brain and what we tell ourselves cannot wait to hear that new story. In fact, the pain that we feel is by design. It's an indication of our erroneous thinking. It's by design. Because sooner or later that pain gets so big that we break. And if we need to fall that far to get back up, fine. There's nothing wrong with that, if that's what you choose. But you don't have to suffer. That's a choice. That's a choice. To keep rehashing the things that have already passed or to let them go. And the thing is, right now, because we all have these great energies around us, what is happening is we have not let them go yet. And so those anchors, those uncomfortable sensations, all these things that people are experiencing, a lot of us aren't anymore. But that's because we've examined our beliefs, done the work, and realized that within our shared existence, we are already free. That's the veil. It's such a thin little thing. Such a thin, thin, thin little thing. And it's crossed over in our mind. You gotta get outside of your head. You gotta be able to examine these things. Yes, there will be a point in which you fluctuate back and forth as your ego tries to struggle with you. Just love that ego. Love that ego to death. It is possible. It is possible to smile, enjoy, and have your eyes twinkle all the time because you're so happy, because you have so much peace, because you're no longer telling yourself that story. And I don't care how big that giant is. If 98% of the people believe what they believe, that's okay. You also have proof that 2% don't. And you choose when you want to be that 2%. And the more the 2% becomes and adds and adds and adds, the less difference we see. Being illuminated, that's a choice. It's a choice we make when we stop judging and we realize that we are each other. It's a choice. Guess that makes me one of them, huh? Should I cover my eye? I'm sorry. I love my life. I understand now from a different perspective. I understand that the power comes from our shared awareness. It is a blessing. It is joy. And it's a joy that everyone should know. That's it.